how do we take it? First is we have to understand why we don't have the kingdom. Building understanding is always the foundation for taking action. You don't take action before you have understanding. We do not have the kingdom of God in operation today because the kingdoms of the devil are so prevalent upon the land. The weakness of the saints are so evident that God could not establish it in its power. And second, we're not acting like it. We have to act like we want the kingdom of God. We have to act like we are under the kingdom of God. We have to stop the idolatry of following satanic governments, apostate governments that aren't following the Constitution, that are not following God's law that in the United States was founded upon. And so we're going to be getting into, of course, the kingdoms of the devil in the next two classes. Because if we don't understand the kingdoms of the devil, what they've done to try and stop us, then we're not going to be able to take effective action. But we also have to look at ourselves and our weaknesses. What am I doing in my life that is showing that I'm too weak to be able to have the strength that is going to be needed to be able to establish the kingdom as hard as it will be today compared to how it would be in the past? Brigham Young explained this principle that will help us in these things. He says, we do not intend to have any trade or commerce with the Gentile world. For so long as we buy of them, we are in a degree dependent upon them. This is one of the ways that we act like it, right? During 2020 and 2021, there were people that said, I am going to violate my conscience because I'm dependent upon the world for my income. I'm dependent on the world for the things that I need every day, produce. And so to be able to keep my income, I'm going to violate my conscience and get a vaccine. I'm going to violate my conscience and do X. I'm going to violate my conscience till I can go and get groceries and wear a face diaper. There were options. There were things that people could do, but because they were scared and fearful, they were not acting like they wanted the kingdom of God. They violated their consciences and they subjected themselves to the kingdoms of the devil. And so the more that we are dependent upon them, the more that we have to subject ourselves to them. And so we take it by becoming independent of them. The kingdom of God cannot rise independent of the Gentile nations until we produce, manufacture, and make every article of use, convenience, or necessity among our own people. If you want to be a part of the kingdom of God, if you want to stop giving power to the kingdoms of the devil, you cannot depend on them for the things that you need. This cannot rise until we do these things. So just giving us steps. These are things that we can start with. What can we do? Start with these things. So shall we need no commerce with the nations. I'm determined to cut every thread of this kind and live free and independent, untrammeled by any of their detestable customs and practices. The practices of the world are detestable. And the more independent that we are, the less that we have to be intertwined with them. He also said the time must come when there will be a separation between this kingdom and the kingdoms of this world. Even in every point of view. He's not mincing words here. There is a separation coming between the kingdoms of the world and the kingdom of God. The time must come when this kingdom must be free and independent from all other kingdoms. Are you prepared to have the thread cut today? What can we do to cut the thread between ourselves and the kingdoms of the devil? We have to start working on that. That's how we take it. In a revelation that was given to the prophet Joseph by the Lord in 1831, he says something. This was originally in Doctrine and Covenants, section 42. But when it became public, it caused some backlash. And so it was removed from the Doctrine and Covenants. But this is a revelation nonetheless. It said, for it shall come to pass that which I spake by the mouth of my prophets shall be fulfilled. For I will consecrate the riches of the Gentiles unto my people, which are of the house of Israel. John Taylor, always criticized for defying the United States, was asked, do you profess to ignore the laws of the land? No, not unless they are unconstitutional. Then I would do it all the time. So of course, we do not obey things that violate natural law, that violate our conscience. To just obey something simply because it makes life easier is crazy. It's saying that you are subject, that you treat the kingdoms of this world as that you fear man more than God. which John Taylor, of course, did not.